Okay, we are starting our sourdough bread preparation. We're using a cup and a half of very, very, very hot water. Normally you don't want it really hot, but since we're putting it in a cold bowl, we want it very hot, and that way it can cool off to the desired temperature. And you can tell what the desired temperature is because if you can stick your finger in it and keep your finger in it, then it's okay. If you can't keep your finger in it, if it's too hot, then it's too hot. So you need to wait until such time as it cools down to where you can keep your finger in it. So I just added a half a cup of oil. I've added a half a cup of sugar. I've added a tablespoon of salt. And I'm going to stir that around. And as soon as it is cool enough, which it is, then we will add 1 cup of the starter. Perfect. And then we'll stir that really well, and then we will add 6 cups of bread flour. And when you do this, you probably want to get a pretty good sized bowl if you can. This is going to be a little tight, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to stir that up really well. And this varies from batch to batch. A lot of it depends on the amount of humidity that's going on at any particular time, so it may be that 6 cups is not going to be quite enough. You always want it to be sticky, but not so sticky that it is it's on your, you know, like glops on your hands. So if you have it where it's glopping on your fingers, after we get it stirred up, we're going to get our fingers in there and mix it up, and if it glops, then we need to add more flour. Don't forget to wash your hands before you do this. I already did it.
And take off your rings.
Yeah, take off your rings, but be sure you know where you put them. Don't want any insurance claims making bread.
How long have you been baking bread?
I've been baking bread for about 15 years, and the starter that I'm using is about 5 years old. The one I had before that was about 10 years old, but I accidentally killed it, so I had to make a new one. But it lasts a long time, and all you have to do is feed it. Every 5 to 7 days you feed it. It's kind of like a pet, and it I don't know, you know, you can name it, you can do whatever you want to with it, and we can talk about what is entailed in that. The starter, every 5 to 7 days you add 3 tablespoons of potato flakes, a half a cup of sugar, and a cup of warm water. Now this wouldn't be the hot water, this would just be warm water because it's not going to have a chance to cool down before it goes into that starter. You don't want to kill it. If you get it too hot, you might kill it. Okay, now see this? That's too gloppy. So that means we need to add a little more flour until such time as it is not sticking to my fingers like this. So we'll just take that and work that in, and then we'll get to the point where it's a little sticky but not gloppy.
And can you use this for anything besides a loaf of bread?
Oh, certainly. You can make bread, loaves of bread, you can make rolls. I've made cinnamon rolls using this, and it's very good, where you just roll it out and then put cinnamon and sugar and raisins and whatever else you might want in there, and just roll it up and cut it up and let it rise, and it's really good. But yes, you can make anything that you would use bread for, you can use this for. It makes wonderful French toast. If somehow you don't eat it before it gets stale, it's really good as French toast then, but most people, they don't let it get that. That doesn't happen.
How long will it keep?
It keeps a long time. Well, a long time comparatively. It will...
Sorry. It's my pet duck.
Yeah, quack, quack, quack. I have kept it outside of the refrigerator for over a week, and it has still been relatively fresh, and for some reason it doesn't get moldy. It's quite interesting because it doesn't have any preservatives in it, so I don't know
That's great.
how that happens, but it just doesn't. Okay, so here you can see it's more of a firm, it's not a sticky, gloppy texture. Can you kind of see that? See how it's not? That's what we're looking for. So what we're going to do then is we're going to clean out the bowl, we're going to coat it with oil, and then we're going to put this in the bowl, and then we're going to roll it over so that it has oil on the top. And then when you let it rise, in this case we're going to use 2 bowls because we don't have a bowl that's quite big enough. So we're going to cover it with cellophane, and we're going to put it in a warm place. Usually I put it on the oven under a light, and then by morning, which would be by morning or evening depending on when you do it, 12 hours later, it should double in size, and then we will continue the video at that point.